Hello, everybody! Welcome to our Monday night MCU McLovin, Marvel Mondays show. We are rewatching and re-ranking all of the MCU movies. Tonight we are talking about Captain America #2, Winter Soldier, with Rory and Chad as always. And of course we got Johnny, Sparkles, and Jose Ver joining us tonight. Welcome, guys. How's everybody doing?
Hey.
How's it going?
Howdy.
I feel like this movie's harder to understand in Hawaii because we don't have winter.
Right. I do get confused when I see people posting pictures from the mainland of snow and things. I was like, is it still winter? I guess so.
Technically, I think so. It's like December through February.
I think so. Yeah.
Then March,
very
April,
mild
May
winter
is
this
spring.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether or not the groundhogs saw a shadow. I just remember reading about one of the groundhogs dying.
Think so?
Like,
Oh,
not
that's not
Punxsutawney
great.
Phil.
Final winter.
No.
It's
So
okay.
Means, I think
Okay,
this one
Chad.
day's not going to end? I don't know.
He'll be alive in the morning again, Chad. It's okay.
Of course, I always said that they should play that movie all day long in Groundhog's Day. Like they do with the Christmas Story on Christmas, and then do it again the next day just to mess with people. Yeah. All right, so we're talking Captain America Winter Soldier today. You guys have any initial thoughts you want to share before we get into the plot recap?
All of my thoughts are plot related, I think.
All plot related? Okay, cool. So we'll get to them. All right, so we start off with Sam. I forget his last name. The Falcon. He's just running around the big old pool at the Cap or at the Washington Monument, and Captain America just keeps lapping him and saying "on your left," which is very alpha thing to do to somebody. And we see that he's got his list of stuff that he missed. That's fine. But then when we get the tanker assault, they go and do a cool commando raid on a ship. We get Frank Grillo. It's one of the guys. It's Crossbones. It's pretty cool. So yeah, they do that. Get on a helicarrier for some reason. Helicarrier. We learned that Shield's making automated helicarriers that are just going to go around the world assassinating people. Like that's the surface plan, is that it's going to be used to go around the road shooting people and killing them. Right? That's not even the bad guy's plan. That's the good guy's plan of what they're supposed to do.
Or I thought they meant for it to be like a defensive thing, and then Hydra was the one that was gonna turn it into, we're gonna murder everybody.
Right. I just thought the targets were different, but it was still the same basic system.
Yeah. Instead of just using him as a monitoring device to.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a genocide, no matter what, when they turn those things on. But that would,
I mean, the thing that I got out of it, on the plot point part of it, is that it was definitely meant to kill bad people, but it was definitely meant to be like a preemptive strike.
Right.
So
crime kind of thing.
Which always works.
Yeah. Because if they're already dead, you can't prove that they weren't going to commit a crime.
Right.
Also, they can't complain about it.
Yeah. Dead people don't have rights, I think, in court. I'm not the legal expert on the show, and Chad is not a dead people lawyer, so he can't comment on this.
I'm neither an attorney for dead or alive people. If you're somewhere in between, though, let's talk.
The undead. I can defend you in court. So Cap goes to the museum, the Smithsonian, right? And then we get kind of a recap of the whole last movie, then about the Howling Commandos and everything. Then he meets with old Peggy, and she's in bed, and I think she's got a little going senile a little bit. Like halfway through the conversation, she resets. So that's got to be a real mind fuck for her. Her boyfriend from 70 years ago is hanging out, not aged. And then we meet Robert Redford in the next scene, where he's talking to the hologram shadow government, international shadow government of holograms. I guess he's the Secretary of Defense, but he takes orders from like international people, powerful people. Let's see. And then
the World Security Council, I think, is there.
Yeah. So they call themselves.
Or no
Wait.
longer cloaked in shadow like they were in Avengers.
Right, yeah. You can see their faces clearly.
Mhm.
On there's an old lady in the group who doesn't seem that sexy right now, but she'll seem really sexy later.
To you.
I mean, that's the now part. She seems sexy
Right.
now to us. To you,
Okay.
she doesn't seem sexy.
Yeah,
to later.
because I can only just see her face, and I'm more of a lady body kind of guy.
I mean, once you see old Peggy, do you need to see anybody else? I mean, I'll avenge that pussy.
So there's a support group that Sam runs for veterans, and they don't sit in a circle; they all just sit facing him, which is kind of good. But then we have the Nick Fury car chase. When Nick Fury meets with Robert Redford, and they talk about stuff, but then Robert Redford is on to him the fact that he knows something's going on, so they send a bunch of cops to kill him, and they get that really cool car chase. All the action scenes in this movie are really good. But Nick Fury shoots, by my count, 7 people. But he's the kind of guy who kills people, so I think that's good.
Yeah.
So he gets out of that and hides out in Steve's house, Steve's apartment. His apartment where they have a laundry room in the basement. So I wonder how much he gets paid for living there. We meet Steve's sexy neighbor, and then Nick Fury dies. Then there's the elevator fight, which is really rad. And then they go after a manhunt on him, and he goes with Black Widow, and they're going to the mall and stuff, following clues, being hunted.
They get
They
to
do
meet
that.
Noob Master 69.
They do. What's his name?
Aaron.
Yeah. But they do that. They do the thing at the mall where they're on the escalator, and the thugs are looking at them, so they have to do the fake kiss. Yeah, I'm going to Chad. Something funny is going on over there. How do I do that? Nope, that's
Are you
me.
playing it
That's
now?
me. It's me. That's not right.
Don't you usually play that at
Making
the
it
end?
worse. No, I'm just trying to show your cool name. I just noticed that because I've looked up for my notes for the first time in 5 minutes. Chad, zombie attorney. I mean, attorney for zombies. I'm alive. I'm not, so I'm not an attorney. It's important. I think that's very funny. Elevator fight. Oh, they go back to Camp Lehigh. There's a Nazi hologram there that tells them everything that how Hydra is behind all of the wars in the world for the last 100 years. Then they go to Sam Wilson's house.
Turns out that Hydra is Jews.
Yeah, it's weird because they're shown as being like Nazis, but they're coded as being Jews. So it's like
Exactly.
So then
I hear that dog whistle.
Roy's always on the lookout for white supremacist wording. They go to hide out at Sam Wilson's house, and he just gets home from a big long run and just goes straight to a big jug of orange juice after a run, which is like the blackest thing. I just love drinking orange juice all the time. We meet Gary Shandling and learn he's in Hydra. We had the overpass fight. That's really cool. And we see that Winter Soldier is actually Bucky. That's supposed to be a big surprise, I guess. And we learn that Nick Fury is still alive and plans to destroy all the helicarriers by switching out all the chips. So that's the plan for the finale. They sneak into S.H.I.E.L.D. And Cap puts his old uniform on, and that's where we see Stan Lee. The shadow government guys, they show up, the security council people. That the old lady is a lot sexier than you think she would be. They fight. Cap blows up 3 guys with a grenade. He kills at least 3 guys. Nick Fury can't. He's got all of his security passes revoked, except for his secret one, and he uses his gross eye to unlock it. And there's a showdown with Capt America and the Winter Soldier, Bucky. And then the finale, you see Nick Fury has faked his death, and he's got his gravestone there with the Path of the Righteous Man on his gravestone.
Which is an Easter egg for Pulp Fiction.
Yes, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's the plot of the movie in a very chopped up quick way. I need to write these things out like with actual sentences.
At some point, we need to make like some kind of game out of it.
Yeah, we should go around the circle and do it and describe it, and then we'll see who watched the movie and who didn't. And make fun of the people that did. Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about this?
I mean, just from listening to like the Security Council bicker at the beginning of the movie, and I don't think I picked up on this the first time, but maybe it's just because there's a war going on right now, and like all of those shadow government people are on the news talking. I suddenly realized that like the shadow government that secretly rules the world is just as ineffective as the United Nations.
Right.
So like you have two layers of useless that I didn't pick up on it before that was stupid, but it is stupid. Like those guys should be like really fucking competent.
You think?
Bureaucracy, everybody.
Yeah.
David, I messed up, man.
Would you mess up?
I watched 1992's Universal Soldier.
Because they keep them on ice. It's almost the exact same thing as the Winter Soldier.
It kind of is, actually.
Yeah, it really is.
I actually saw it.
Yeah.
It's all super soldiers.
Right.
We thought they were dead. Yeah. They're back.
Yeah.
I actually think I saw this movie in the theater. This is like the first time I've been on one of your podcasts and actually seen the thing that I'm talking about. So that was new.
Johnny Sparkle's famously a big Captain America fan.
Yeah, that Nick Fury scene where all the cops are hitting him with their cars does not hold up that well.
It's nice that when the cops are eyeballing him and he's like, "You want to see my lease?" It's obviously he gets that all the time, even when the cops aren't evil.
That's why we can't have a black James Bond. Keep telling people.
I guess I just my initial reaction to the Winter Soldier the first time I saw it was it had been my favorite so far, and I think in this initial rewatch that still tracks. I think it's my favorite of the movies so far. Just because it has so many of the Avengers in it, I always forget that it's a Captain America movie.
Yeah.
So like I consider, like when it popped up on there, it was like Captain America, Winter Soldier. I was like, oh, I thought this was Avengers still. So it was in my list of like the Avengers movies that are better than every other movie.
Right. Yeah. I think we'll see that a lot too with Civil War. That feels like it's just an Avengers movie.
That one's even more of an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, you made a great point though, Rory, because I remember when I started watching it, I remembered watching it in the theater, and I'm not a big Captain America guy as a character, but this was the movie that kind of encouraged me to like go all in on watching the MCU, like. Because before I was into it, but I wasn't like, I need to watch all of them. But this one convinced me, like, hey, if Captain America can be this exciting, I'm in.
Yeah, this is one of the newer ones that, or when they came out in the order that they did, like, this is one of the ones that didn't have like there's aliens or there's magic stuff. Or,
right. Yeah.
This is just like straight up. This is like a spy movie set in the Marvel universe. So
yeah.
It was kind of cool to just like have them be like, oh, we're just like, for most of the movie, Cap doesn't really do Captain American-y stuff. He's like, he's looking for clues. He attempts to hack computers and stuff. So he's like, he's not like, just chucking the shield and like bodying people all the time. But yeah, he's like, they're doing other things.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, like you kept mentioning in the recap that all of the action sequences are cool, and I think it was because this feels like super powered conventional action scenes.
Right.
So like when Captain America is like doing a super powered punch, it's still just a regular punch. This guy goes flying, but he goes flying in a way that you would if you got hit by a truck all of a sudden, which is basically what he's doing.
Right.
So I really I responded to that a lot more. Like, this fighting seemed more visceral, even if he wasn't like full on decapitating people. Like on that ship, like when he was kicking people into railings, they were fucking dead.
Yeah.
Like, you can't throw somebody off of a ship and have them survive, and he wasn't even flinching. Like,
there was definitely a weightiness to all of the action scenes in this movie that you don't see in the ones that end up being like 100% CGI.
Right,
also, one of the things that I definitely picked up on the rewatch that I didn't remember is how action heavy the first hour of this movie is. Because you mentioned that there's the ship fight, there's the car chase with Nick Fury, there's Cap chasing down Winter Soldier for the first time, where he's crashing through walls.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He's just running so fast. And there's also the elevator fight and the escape from the Triskelion. And I believe all that happens before minute 55.
Wow.
Yeah. And when they slow down for like the investigation, like I don't feel like we lose pace in it.
Right. Yeah.
Which is hard to do in a spy.
Right. Yeah, because that's kind of the one thing about it. Though, is like when you have the spy stories and stuff, there's usually you're gonna have some red herrings. You're gonna have some people that are like double crossing you and stuff, and that they're really light on that. In this one, it's a lot more kind of efficient. Everywhere they go, they get the right clues that they need, and they're able to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
There's not the dead ends.
There's double crossings, but
but like Robert Redford is pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they try to plant seeds. Like, is Black Widow like on the working against him? Like, no, she's not. We know that she's not. We can move past that. Were you saying
no, to the point, you guys are bringing up great points. As far as like an MCU movie can be reserved, it's a pretty like, it's a pretty conservative. There's nothing like over the top. Like I've seen some crazier stuff in like Mission Impossible that you're like, come on, like other than the normal superhero stuff where you're he's flying but I mean there's nothing that's like outlandishly like out of, and it doesn't play long, like you said. It's even the slower parts are interesting. It's very done very well. They knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the first one. I heard that one's a little bit slower, but I don't really know. I heard there's a lot more Charleston. Like people were doing the Charleston in it. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
There's a lot more dance and musical numbers in the first one.
There are. Yeah, it's true.
Well, I mean, it is canon that Captain America is an amazing singer-dancer.
Yeah. He spent all that time traveling to USO.
Well, he was the captain of the dance team. That's how he got his name.
He's not a military captain.
Yeah. Common misconception.
I do want to I know I brought it up a couple of times on the stream, but the stuntmen in this movie in particular do a lot of that corridor crew, and all of them just seem like really cool individuals. Cool. And actually, if you look at the elevator scene, when they're all lined up, the black guy in the corner, right next to the elevator that's in the tactical gear, not the black guy in the suit. That is the stuntman that plays Black Panther.
Oh,
okay.
Like he's really, he's just kind of cool to listen to, but B, he's like really talented. He's like the one that did the running on the freeway and that one huge jump where he like jumps on a wall and then like claws his way down. Definitely suggest checking out the behind the scenes on that because it's really cool. But like the whole team, like the reason why the action seems so cool is because those guys are like a really tight-knit team and really know what they're doing.
Like I was saying, it really helps that it's not all CGI monsters that they're punching and stuff. Real people doing the stunts. It looks great.
Yeah, people punching people.
That's what we want to see. We want to see people getting punched. Yeah.
One thing that I remember coming under fire after I had seen it was the portrayal of Black Widow in this movie. And I didn't see it at the time, and so I was kind of looking for it when I went back in to rewatch it. But having watched all of them back to back, I feel like this one's actually kind of like a turning point for her character, where up until now she was just always in super spy mode. And in this one, I feel like we kind of start seeing her break a little bit more, and it makes more sense the way she's portrayed later on, where she went from just believing in Shield no matter what and however she has to do it, to now like more paying attention to like the Avengers, how to be a part of the team. So that just seemed cool.
Right. Yeah. So she definitely has that thing of like she was one of those spies that was raised to be a spy and everything, and have to do the mission at all costs and all that stuff. So.
Yeah.
I mean, she's clearly not black. That's my only problem. But
that isn't weird, right?
But I think it's Rory. Get out of my head, Rory, because I actually made a note. I made a note saying I liked at the very beginning of the film saying that I liked ScarJo better when she wasn't just trying to be a badass. And then, literally within the film, she changed my mind. It's like the writers paid attention, I think, and were like, it's kind of a cool. Because at first she's like, I'm gonna kill you and do a cool move, and I'm gonna strut out of here in my leather suit. And then later on, she's like vulnerable, and she's learning. She's the trust issues start going away.
Yeah, and I think too, like the byplay between Captain America and Black Widow, where like even though she's not like really trying to work him or anything, but she starts out with being flirtatious. He doesn't go for it.
Right.
She starts out with being like kind of smart and being the tough guy. He doesn't go for it. So like all of the things that work with everybody else that she deals with in this environment don't work with him, and because of that they start like meeting on a personal level, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's actually kind of a poignant when it's like we need each other to survive. It's kind of like it's like a something you would see in a sophisticated romance drama, where it's like we didn't really know what we were getting out of each other, and then we needed each other to survive, so we kind of learned each other on the journey to try not to die.
You definitely buy it by the end that they're much closer friends. Non-romantic. We only get the one kiss in this movie, and it's a trick kiss. Well, I'm a fan of that as a thing that happens in movies.
I did enjoy though that she was, even though I don't necessarily buy it, I do enjoy the when she explains why she's doing when she's like, kiss me, public displays of affection make people uncomfortable, rather than just be we're hiding our faces, blah blah blah. It's like, no, this is I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm doing it, and this is how we're going to go forward. Like, she's actually in her element and taking control, which normally they just kind of gloss over, and I enjoy that they added those lines in.
Like, it's a good movie, like in contrast to when we just watched Thor 2 last week, right? Where Thor is always right, and he's always the one that knows what to do, and is like always the best at everything in that movie. And then this one, like, so much of what they're doing, like, it's just Captain America following her lead. She's the one that knows how to. She knows it's her world of being on the run like that. She knows it. He's totally cool with following her on it.
And I also love when like Captain America's knowledge does come into play, like the whole thing with like this building's in the wrong spot, regulation state, where it's like, who fucking knows that? Of course Captain America would, but who else? So I really enjoy like how they keep bringing that kind of stuff in, where it's like, he just kind of knows this stuff because from back in the day it was more important.
They're really lucky that they went to that place that he went to. He still did that.
Yeah. So
I think it's cool that like basically every trope that could have been handled horribly, it's very subtle. Like rather than have him wear like a crazy babushka, it's like just wear this hat and then kiss people around the thing. And then when he sees a little kid and just kind of like winks at him or whatever, it's like, well, it would have been funny if that kid just didn't realize it was him. He's just like, it's a ghost. And but yeah, everything that could have been horrible was subtle. So I thought that was cool.
Speaking of the subtle disguises, have you guys seen those memes about like how, oh, this is the MCU disguise kit? It's just like jacket, hat, shades.
Navy blue hat.
Yeah. We say it's MCU, but I feel like that's like the standard espionage thriller spy thing.
That's right.
Where it's like, oh, if you need to go undercover, dress exactly like a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
It's just that the hats have changed over the decades. That's all it is.
That's also undercover celebrities too.
That's true. Right. So it works.
Like when they're trying to avoid paparazzi, they're just like, I'll throw on my baseball cap and they'll never snap any pictures of me.
That's why I wear hats on the streams. I don't want people to recognize me. It's just too hot to wear a jacket. Yeah, it's like something like Captain America. Like he's kind of just known for his suit. So like if you think of comic book Captain America, if he was just like a dude walking around with regular clothes, would you know that was him?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Would that kid even recognize his face, really?
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like in an MCU kind of universe where Captain America was the one superhuman, like we all know what Hitler looks like. If we saw Hitler walking around in a baseball cap, we would recognize him.
If he shaved the mustache, I don't think I would. If he shaved the mustache and changed the hair, I don't think I would. I could tell you what he looks like.
Captain America doesn't have a mustache, so
So if he grew one, then I would no idea.
Exactly, especially if it was a Hitler stash, we would not see that coming.
We just think it's Hitler.
Oh God.
Kind of how Michael Jordan was unrecognizable in that one commercial with his little Hitler
I thought it was Hitler the first time I saw it.
It's like, oh, Black Hitler.
I really liked how this brought in Zola as kind of because like without bringing Zola in, if they didn't do that, like we all know about how the U.S. took Nazi scientists, but we wouldn't have thought. I wasn't sure if that was just the MCU version or if it was the actual name.
It's hard to tell reality from the MCU sometimes.
Yeah, and I don't want to. But without Zola being where he was, it would have been a harder sell for how did Hydra get so involved in S.H.I.E.L.D. But now that we know that from like day one of S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra was already there, it makes it like when I saw it the first time and I was like, oh, the Winter Soldier, I know kind of what that guy's about. But when they started like showing some Hydra elements in S.H.I.E.L.D., I was like, oh, this is a little soon. They haven't really like hinted at this. And then when it crescendoed at the end, I was like, you got to be fucking shitting me. So I thought that was, they sped to that conclusion a lot faster than I thought they could have, which was, I thought, a good way of sneaking one past the fans.
And classically, he isn't just a guy who lives in a TV, but he's a TV that is in the belly of a giant robot man. Is that how that works?
Yeah,
that's Krang, isn't it?
Yeah, that's I always picture.
Isn't that Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. Instead of it being a brain, it's a TV screen. But yes, he does look remarkably similar to Krang. But having him live in the monitor, being the artificial intelligence or whatever he is in this movie, that's a great shout out to the comics. And I thought that it was also great that the starter bad guy in the movie was Batroc the Leaper, who is absolutely sort of the comic bookiest throwaway comic book villain that Captain America has. He's a French guy that jump kicks people. Yeah. That's his entire gimmick.
And is he super powered, or is that just like he's trained for years like a ninja just to jump kick?
He's trained for years as a French kickboxer.
Yeah, he is the ultimate fighter, right, Chad?
Mm-hmm.
George St. Pierre.
GSP.
I will say that I haven't actually read a comic that has him in it.
So there he is.
But I've heard him referenced before, and I thought his name was Batroc the Leper for a really long time. And I was like, that's
he leaps a lot, and his skin doesn't fall off. That's such a weird name.
I guess no one likes him? I don't know.
Maybe he just lives on Molokai.
Interesting.
Is he related to Soundwave at all? I know Soundwave is a boombox, but I feel like they could be distant relatives.
Yeah, I think it's cool. They can take kind of someone who would be lame as a comic book character. Like you just put him in a fight scene where he just does that one thing that works. Like it would suck if he was like the big bad guy of the whole thing, but if like he's just there in one fight scene, it worked really well.
Yeah, and I feel like this movie did a really good job of subtly reminding us that there's more than one super soldier out there. Because like I understand in the comics he's just a kickboxer, but in this one we see him take a direct punch from Captain America and then stand back up, which means he's got to be some kind of super. Which is later on explored in the MCU, but I do really like that it's Captain America's the only one that didn't go sort of insane or have like a side effect.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that anybody stopped trying to make him. He's just the only one that didn't get cancer or
go insane or anything.
Yeah. Or didn't just like get killed because they threw him out of the plane and it's like, oh, it doesn't work that good.
Right. Yeah, or have some weird side effect like with Winter Soldier, where it's like, oh yeah, we got to freeze this guy every couple of days and brainwash him to keep him working.
That's not so much a side effect. That's an intended effect.
Oh, okay. But if they can have like an
always
army
intended
of
to
those
keep
guys, they
brainwashing
probably All right.
Well, I think too, though, like it kind of goes into play of the people that have the capability of creating a super soldier aren't the kind of people that a super soldier listens to throughout time.
Right.
So like even Captain America here stops listening to his handlers in this movie.
Yeah, I mean, he actively takes down the organization.
So like that's the problem with super soldiers just in general. Why you don't want an army is because if you create an entire army of super soldiers, you're just saying hello to your new overlords.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Right.
When did this turn into a Star Trek podcast? Because that was Khan's origin story, right?
That's true, yeah. And they had to freeze them, right?
Yeah. Well, he is one of like the lower end guys in Universal Soldier, so it's all one continuity.
Chad, whose origin story, Chad?
God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
I didn't know who you were talking about until that.
You're talking about Genghis Khan or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen all of the original Star Trek movies, but I rewatched them the last few months, and like, you guys ever heard that thing where it's like every other one is good, like all the odd numbered ones are suck or they're boring.
Yeah, the odd ones are bad.
Good.
Supposedly.
Yeah, it's true. It's definitely true.
See, I feel like I watched them all recently.
Okay. They're on Hulu,
like within the last year, not the last couple months. But I feel like there was a point in time where I was like, there was two that were really bad back to back. Like maybe one was better comparatively, but
I think the whale one gets a lot of shit because it's kind of silly, but it's actually a really good movie. Like,
it's entertaining.
I love Voyage Home.
Yeah.
Nuclear whistles.
Yeah.
That thing where it's invisible in the park and then the lady runs into it because it's invisible. Those are the kind of gags that I think are funny. You want to know what I don't think is funny? Join the White Comedians Facebook group.
Hey.
We don't need to talk about that for another 2 hours. No, one thing I want to talk about in this is that it's something we brought up in the first Captain America one, about how Captain America's story throughout all these movies, it's really dependent on his strong relationship with Bucky and how much he just loves his best friend Bucky. But they never really have any good chemistry. Like, even throughout this movie, everyone that Captain America interacts with, he has much better chemistry with. Even when we get that flashback of Bucky, tell him he's got a place for him after his parents die and all that stuff. And it's good that he's doing stuff for him and stuff, and that shows like they have a connection. But we never just see them just like hanging out and being bros or anything that really.
I think because all that's supposed to be just like implied through there, because I guess like back in the 40s, like if you're friends, like that's like your only friends, because you didn't have cell phones, you can't really communicate with like the wide, anyone outside your neighborhood. So I think it's just
Also,
implied like, oh yeah,
physically touching.
Yeah. So like this is the dude that I grew up with, so like I just have that that connection just gonna be what it is. Sorry, elevator scene.
So good. I love when right before the fight starts when he's like, okay, before we do this, does anybody want to get off? Like, that's a cool, badass thing to say.
Also, another great quote in there is it kind of feels personal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No. I was just going to jump in on the anybody wants to get out. I feel like that's a kind of like the same joke as the Iron Man 3 when the guy's like, you know what? I hate working here. These guys are weird. Like, it's a great thing of like, I love the idea of some henchmen. It's just their job to hench, but like they get involved in stuff and they're like, no, like you want to rough some stereos, you want to rough up like a rival business partner, sure, but like.
Someone told me we were going to be part of a plot to kill like scientists and things, and I was totally down with that. Assassinating high school valedictorians. But I don't want to fight Captain America. He's an American hero. Also, he's going to break my jaw. So no thank you.
The other problem with Bucky, David, is that immediately when you see Bucky as well as Robert Redford, they're going to be bad guys. Like, it's just there's no. You're like,
when he's waiting in the shadows in his house with a gun.
Yeah, when it's like, why would Robert Redford even be in the? Even when I first saw Robert Redford like in the movie theater, just saw him on screen, I'm like, he wouldn't be here unless he was doing something shady. Yeah. And Bucky was they kept bringing up Bucky for no. It's like, why would you keep bringing Bucky up unless he's gonna show up later?
Right. Like, was that a surprise to anybody to find that out?
Yeah, but the relationship is weird, like you were saying, because I think, I didn't see the first movie, but that clip they show where Steve's like still small, he like, it's like he doesn't, before he gets his transformation, he doesn't even know how to talk to people. He's just like, I don't know, I don't know how to do the thing. I'm little. I'm a little guy. So I don't know. It's hard to read.
I really wish he did like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, part of me wants to say that I feel like it's like that 1930s style dude friendship where like they're not allowed to show emotions, where it's just like, my mom died and I buried her. And it's like, fine, you want to sleep on my floor? No, I can handle it. Like, that's supposed to be some sort of like man shit that I just don't understand nowadays. But I agree that like they didn't sell me on the friendship.
Stickball or something.
Yeah, my mom made you a casserole here.
Like, I think instead of relying on the cool CGI of like, let's make Chris Evans small, if they had actually shown like them as actual kids, where like where that bond got formed, like like if it just showed them on the sand lot, I'd be like, fuck it, I get it.
Yeah.
Especially if you had kids that had more chemistry than Chris Evans and Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
One thing that you mentioned about the using the cool CGI technology to put Steve's face on Chris Evans' face on the little guy body. Why did they do that during the flashback scene with Bucky, but the flashback scene at Camp Lehigh, little guy didn't look like Steve at all?
No.
I'll have to go back and rewatch that.
They probably didn't have time. He already wasn't available for reshoots, I bet. they just use somebody else. Well, they could have just used footage from the first movie. It probably would have been the best way to do it.
Isn't he one of those guys that has a brother that looks just like him or something? Doesn't he have like not a twin brother, but a brother who looks a lot like him? They can
I
like
think
stand
that's
in.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, Chris
Hemsworth.
Hemsworth, Liam Hemsworth.
I
Liam and
guess.
Chris don't look alike at all.
Yeah, that's true. They don't. They don't. I don't think they do.
I don't know. I
don't think they look that much alike. It's weird. It's hard to tell though, because
the third best looking one.
well, like Liam is always. I feel like Liam changes his look often. And
yeah, you can tell they're brothers though. You can definitely tell that they're brothers.
yeah, I mean, when you know they're brothers, it's not like what, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a thing though, that Chris Evans had a brother that I want to say he even like stood in for him in a movie.
Oh, maybe.
I think that was in like Scott Pilgrim when he had like all his stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I think that those were also like Chris Evans' actual stunt guys, like his body doubles and stuff. Oh, sorry, Widow and Cap are in incognito mode in their hoodies.
She's got that cool striped hoodie that kind of draws attention, I think. But there's Liam and Chris Hemsworth, so you can definitely tell they're brothers.
Yeah, but they do have very distinctive, different looking features though. Like in my opinion, like their chins a little different.
Yeah,
you can definitely tell they're.
Can you get a picture with their shirts off?
Yeah, I can't tell unless I see them shirtless. Dave.
Yeah, I can try Thor and Brother Rule 34 and see what comes up. I don't know, you guys.
Wait, if you write Thor and Brother Rule 34, it's going to be part of Thor and Loki. It's not going to be the Hemsworths.
Ah, you're right. Okay, I'm not good at Google.
Not because I've Googled that specific thing before. I just know how the internet works.
Yeah.
One thing that I would like to just throw out there is that the Winter Soldier's costume is badass. Like,
yeah, I don't like the mask, but yeah, the rest of it's pretty cool. I'll admit that. And the goggles, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that is definitely a close enough brother.
Yeah, you can see it right in the eyes. You can really see it.
Well, which one of the Hemsworths is that?
That's the third best looking one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know the one that played Thor in Ragnarok?
Ah.
I mean, the guy who was playing Thor in the play in Ragnarok. Did we just start losing everybody?
I guess so.
All right. We're the last two survivors. No? Am I the only one left? I'm gone too. No.
Oh,
we're back.
We're coming back.
Hi, everybody.
In case you're wondering what Endgame looks like.
The background. I just wanted to show the background to see the video. That was the snap of what the.
So Chad was the sole survivor. Congratulations, Chad.
That was a bad way of doing it.
I survived the snap, and all I got was this stupid shirt.
And I was Tom Holland Spider-Man, second to last.
Really,
you know what? I haven't.
Camera in the gut.
I haven't discussed this with you guys because I haven't seen most of you in years, other than a few minutes here and there. When I first saw Tom Holland Spider-Man, he reminded me of somebody, and I don't know. It was one of those things where people that when I've said it to some people and they're like, "Thank you," because I've been wondering, but not everybody agrees. So I'm curious to know what you think. But when I first saw Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and especially when he gets like agitated, Morty, he's Morty.
Yeah, I get that Morty energy from him.
He's just like Again, especially in it was in one of the Avengers movies when he was trying to get Iron Man's attention or something, and it was so. I was like, if they ever do I kept hoping like Kimmel would do a live where they accidentally mess up the cartoon and like it's like a live Rick and Morty and Tom Holland is Morty, and I guess you can get Christopher
Lloyd.
Although he's getting very, very old.
Yeah,
he still looks like Christopher Lloyd though.
Yeah. So
The
who do
last
you
time I
think is
saw
the
him-
number one fan art that you Google it? You Google Tom Holland and Morty. What do you think you're gonna see?
Oh, I don't know. I never.
You're gonna have
Have you guys
Yeah,
ever
I never
seen
did
that?
I never did research to see if that was the thing other people thought of. But
trying to get the video up here.
Did you guys ever see the that side by side picture of like a young Stan Lee and Tom Holland?
no.
No.
They look like remarkably similar. Like they could be Evans brothers.
Wow, that's trippy. Rory, did you know Stanley's in this movie? It's crazy.
Which movie?
He shows up in the Winter Soldier. He shows
I
up
knew
in it.
I knew he was in Universal Soldier, but
Is
Yeah.
he in Universal Soldier?
He was the Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
He was. That's the twist.
This is one of the
Uh,
rare
I
Stan
don't
Lee
know about
cameos.
this, Mr. Stark.
Yeah. It's like so. I think it was the first. I think it was Endgame, maybe, where I was like, "Wow, he's just major Morty vibes." He's like, "I don't know, I'm gonna get out of here, Iron Man."
Yeah, we have the Stan Lee cameo. It's one of the rare ones where he's got a line. It's pretty funny. I'm so fired. It's cute. It's cute to see him do it, even if it's not the funniest line.
I did really enjoy going back to the original.
Oh, we have a timestamp for that. Jose will catch up to it sometime soon.
I do really enjoy that they went back to the original Captain America uniform for this fight scene, or for the final fight scene. I thought that was cool. Whereas like they brought out the cool stealth captain, but then went back to the original rather than going back to the one from Avengers, because I thought that one was much lamer.
Right.
Like, that's the least cool of all of the Captain costumes I've seen so far.
Yeah, it's like it's a little too like modern looking. But the I think what's interesting about it is like he starts off, right? He's got his cool tactical, like almost black uniform that he's wearing as he's doing all the shields, dirty work and stuff. But when it's time for him to go to the finale and do the big thing and really embody all of the good Captain America values, he's got to put on the classic suit, right?
Where did
other stuff?
Where did he make his debut? Was it in Ultron, or did they do the movie first before he was in?
Kind of really small.
Are you asking about Captain America?
Yeah, when did he make his debut in the the modern day MCU?
Well, he was in Avengers in the modern day, but in the final scene of Captain America, the first Avenger.
Yeah,
like young Stan Lee could be Morty. Just saying.
Yeah.
Young Stan Lee does not look anything like Stan Lee. It's messy with him.
It's true. It's just some guy named Stan Lee. It's not the Stan Lee.
No, I mean, imagine young Hitler. Young Hitler probably didn't look much like older Hitler.
That was actually young.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't have a mustache. That's
well, he never got to be that old, So. Tricked you.
I just want to also bring up Falcon's costume, because I don't know if you guys remember from the comics, Falcon's costume is super lame. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, they're just two pretty guys.
Wow.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that they look that much alike.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's weird.
The picture match as well, but they don't really. You can tell it's two different pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Falcon's costume in the comics is super lame, and they updated that costume correctly to be not lame. And I love that he just flies around in the t-shirt at first.
Yeah.
There is part of me that wishes that he had a t-shirt with a super deep V and a big gold chain.
Was that his debut?
That was his costume for I want to say up until the 90s, maybe.
Yeah.
Like they kept it exactly the same throughout the 70s and 80s, and it was just like, isn't it about time to maybe knock off the blaxploitation thing.
He had an afro pick.
Oh, yeah,
He's just flying around with an afro pick in his head.
Like, what if we took a black guy and also made him a luchador, but gave him wings?
Yeah, now that you point it out, it actually does look like a luchador costume.
So when did I'm sorry, I haven't seen like when did Anthony Mackie as Falcon, was that his debut in this movie?
Yeah.
Or was
Yeah,
it,
this
okay.
one.
Because they didn't go to too much detail. It's just I'm Falcon now. So, but I mean I was able to follow it, but it's one of those things where they don't, which is kind of good because in some movies it's like, oh, here's a little half-hour movie now to explain who Falcon is within the movie. There's a little mini documentary for you to learn this character. But
no, he doesn't get that until the TV show.
Nice.
Which great casting too with Anthony Mackie as Falcon, because like when this movie first debuted, I didn't really know him. It wasn't until I went back and rewatched a couple of movies that I see. Yeah.
He doesn't have real wings. They're just like in his armpit, like a flying squirrel.
Yeah.
That's just an actual WWE wrestler.
But like Anthony Mackie can clearly be like a center pole for future MCU. Like he's just a really good actor. And just speaking of the chemistry, him and Winter Soldier have a much better chemistry. Like I could definitely watch. Like I watched all of Winter Soldier just to see those two hanging out. Like,
oh, nice. Because they hang out. We just need to hang out. Part of the movie.
Well, especially because like a lot of that TV series is about how they start becoming friends. Because even though I feel like the actors like each other, the characters didn't. Right. So it's like it actually forges that bond between them throughout the series. So
the characters didn't like each other, but they really bounced off each other so well, even in the next Cap movie, Civil War, where they get to hang out. Like, they had way more chemistry with Bucky and Falcon than Bucky and Cap in this movie or in the last one.
Right. Yeah, we need to do a whole extra stream on just the shows. I feel like I'm missing out. I haven't watched any of them.
I'm down for that stream. I really like those shows. Oh, that's one thing. I was watching the one shots, and in the All Hail the King one shot, the guy that tries to step to Trevor in prison is the guy who built Kingpin and the Daredevil suit in the Marvel Netflix series. Like same actor.
Gladiator?
Oh. Yeah. Is he playing the same character?
I believe so.
I don't think it was because that dude gets like murked, right? Doesn't he get like killed in the prison? Sorry, spoilers.
I didn't see him get killed in the prison, but like he comes out of prison all messed up in the head. So I'm thinking that maybe they tried to, but it's the same prison.
Sorry. I'm trying to because I did see the All Hail the King thing because I wanted to see that after I watched Shang-Chi because I wanted to figure out how he got from what happened from Iron Man 3 to there. But I don't think he was playing the same character though, like that dude. I think it was just the same actor.
Oh, okay.
I think like in Daredevil, like I think that character. What was the character's name in Daredevil? The one that was building the stuff.
I can't remember what his name was.
I kind of felt like that dude was kind of like on the spectrum-ish, like when he was like, yeah.
I thought
Melvin
it was supposed.
Potter.
That's right. I thought he was supposed to have been damaged. Like, I know it comes across as on the spectrum, but I thought it was like actual brain damage that made him that way. But I haven't really done any behind the scenes. I was just like, hey, it's that guy.
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, that's the same face on that thing. Oh, there's the
That's what I was
one.
talking about with Falcon's
Yeah,
chain.
that's the little chain. Yeah.
Is that Too Cold Scorpio, Chad?
That would have been amazing if they made a MCU in the 90s and they had Too Cold Scorpio. It definitely would have been Wesley Snipes.
No.
Yeah.
I'm thinking one of these days we're gonna have to do a game where we cast Marvel superheroes as wrestlers or wrestlers as Marvel superheroes. We could probably do both.
Yeah, both ways.
Everybody knows the wrestlers.
So me and Sparkles are definitely on that one.
Yeah, we'll call John Yabez.
Mm-hmm.
All other big time wrestling fan friends. What was your guys' favorite fight out of it? We talked about the fights, but you had to pick one. What was the coolest one?
I feel like the better question is, what was the best fight other than the elevator?
That's right. You can't all pick the elevator.
Yeah, I think we were going to. I think we were going to though. So yeah, maybe our. Well, I mean, the real battle is between man and loyalty, and who can we trust, David? Who can we trust?
Right.
And
I mean, the battle going
battle
on in Bucky's
within,
face, right?
Yeah.
In the post credit scene when he's looking at all that stuff in the museum. That's the real battle. That was,
man and vulnerability. That's an internal battle we're all fighting.
Yeah.
I think that even though I feel like the elevator scene is an awesome fight scene, I still think the better one is Nick Fury in traffic. Just I liked how violent it was. And when I say how violent it was that it was definitely, he was trying to kill people and succeeding, but they didn't go over the top with it. And then I love that he was still using his gadgets, but they had plausible reasons for the gadgets not working. I like the humor element.
The flight mode or whatever was disabled.
Yeah.
No, this thing can fly. That would just be cool to see one.
Yeah.
I love that. The only thing that was still working was the air conditioning.
It's actually like not to get dramatic, but it was kind of like almost an emotional scene because it's like you can feel the struggle. You know, I'm not the struggle, but although there's
that's the struggle, man. That's what it's like to be a black man in America. Everywhere.
Yeah, it's a very metaphorical scene, but yeah, him fighting, you can really feel it, and actually, it's kind of dark. But when the bullets were hitting the metal, I was reminded of that crazy shootout between the cops and the bank robbers in like San Bernardino, like I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. It was like, this is like really it's tactical, crazy shit. 'Cause that was the first time I saw something on TV where guys had like military grade weapons, like shooting at the cops and shit. And I was like, this is bananas.
The other thing that I liked about it is the elevator scene and the boat scene, I feel like are very close for me as far as which one I think is cooler. But both of those are like surprise attacks from people that don't see it coming, but kind of probably should. But this one, I like that it was like the bad guys had a full plan for exactly how to attack Nick Fury. It almost succeeded, and Nick Fury had to fight hard to get out of it. And that I didn't feel like it was a sure thing that Nick was going to make it. I mean, like plot wise, I knew that
but he could have been captured or something.
So I really liked that scene. Also, I love the stick shift turning into a mini cannon like that. That seems like something that a spy would be like, why are we always doing this in the headlights? Like, I want to... Yeah,
I want to be able to control it. And it's usually like the 360 degrees to be able to shoot it. But yeah, it's also, I think you're right. That one definitely builds like the tension in it the most. It's like, you don't know if he's going to get out of it, because at any moment he could just get, knocked out and captured. So you don't know he's going to get away.
it was a great addition of the Winter Soldier, where it's like
Yeah.
Nick Fury finally beat his way out of everything else, and then the Winter Soldier just walks out into traffic and blows him up. Like that was like we established how badass Nick Fury was, and then immediately used that to contrast how badass Winter Soldier was.
Right.
Is that he's the guy you'd send after Nick Fury.
Right. And he does the cool thing, which is like they're taking on the walking away from the explosion, where he blows up the truck and it's flying and coming right at him, and he just steps out of the way without.
Yeah, a little sidestep.
Cool. Yeah.
My favorite fight was Chris Evans's biceps versus the helicopter.
Oh yeah. That's one of those ones that really motivates you to want to go to the gym. Like, man, I want to be able to do that.
And
maybe not do that, but pull on something and look like that.
Yeah, that's in the next one.
Yeah, that's the other one. That's the two.
But
that's not
Captain America versus the Quinjet.
Oh, that was a cool part. Yeah.
I did really like that, just on the grounds of like, say you're a pilot, you're flying like the state-of-the-art best plane ever, and all of a sudden you just got an angry man just beating the hell out of it, and you're just like, what am I supposed to do here? Like, I showed up and was just like, I've got a jet that hovers.
Yeah, and I had like machine guns and stuff. I thought he was going to stop, and then we would take him prisoner. Now what are we supposed to do?
Like, I almost want to see that one shot of just like that guy being like an actual loyal SHIELD agent, just being like, hey, Captain, I didn't know. Like, they sent me out to stop you, and I was like, oh, maybe mind control. Like, that happened to my buddy Hawkeye once, so I was just like, I was trying to scare you. Like, you scared the shit out of me, though. I can't fly.
I want to say that Falcon versus Rumlow was my favorite, but it definitely wasn't. I just really wanted to say it because I wish that they had done more with Brock Rumlow in the MCU. The fact that it's just this movie and Civil War and that's it.
Yeah, just that one scene.
It's just like, oh man. Yeah, no, he really is. Yeah. Like, I wish that they did more with him. But it's probably the bridge fight.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
It is a good one. I will say that the fight scene between Bucky and Captain at the end is probably my least favorite final fight. And it's for a stupid reason. Like, I don't think it's the best fight scene, but like, plot-wise, it makes sense for the fight scene to play out that way. Mm-hmm. But that weird cut they give to Captain America, like, it's like just off the side of his lip.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm just like, I understand that people get hurt in ways that don't look cinematic cool, but like, this one's just distracting. It looks like Winter Soldier punched him and smeared his lipstick. Like, it's not like fully bleeding. It's just.
I thought when they pulled him out of the water at the end that it looked good, but like while he's doing stuff, you're always staring at it. And like, this is a weird spot for this.
It looked better when he was unconscious.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Bucky Captain America fight at the end, I did want to point this out earlier, but I forgot. When you were mentioning the fact that he puts on his old outfit for the final fight, and it's not just because it's Captain America time to do some real Captain America stuff and give a Captain America speech.
Right.
It's also because he wants to show Bucky, hey, remember me.
Yeah. I will say, though, that because you brought up the speech, it reminded me, I absolutely love the scene where Frank Grillo is getting ready to cap that dude, and you can actually see the fear in that extra's face of like, he's gonna shoot me and no one's gonna stop him, and I'm still not doing it. Like, that was like, normally you don't see that caliber acting out of random guy number 5. Like, he did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Also, until rewatching it, I didn't realize that the guy from Community was in it.
Oh yeah.
Yep,
bad.
Danny
Yeah.
Pudi.
Very underused. Almost a disrespectful cameo. Like that's it. That's all you're gonna give him.
Yeah, they didn't really give
Well,
him
that's what they did
anything
with
funny to
Ken
do.
Jeong in Endgame,
Mhm.
and Shirley in Infinity War. Oh no, also in Endgame.
Also in Endgame,
Yeah,
she actually had a little bit more meat on her role than Ken Jeong did.
Fucking spoilers, Jose and Chad. Yeah.
That's another they're in it, and they almost cast Alison Brie as the as Captain America's beautiful undercover neighbor.
Oh.
With the other lady instead.
Would have made sense.
Damn it!
2014 Alison Brie was something special.
Now I'm upset.
Because then it would have made sense if Falcon and her were in their wrestling outfits later on.
Mhm.
Yeah, they could do all the wrestling stuff. Oh, they it's kind of funny, but also kind of lame that they talk about Falcon's costume, right? Is his jetpack wings or whatever? They're locked away in some army vault, and then they just go get it off screen. That's kind of funny to do that, but also like
It sounds like they're gonna start describing the heist,
right,
to get the wings, and then they just have it.
Yeah. I get it. We all knew they were going to get it.
Yeah. But we wanted to see the heist.
I expected that to be the one or the end credit scene the first time is just like them cutting to the security guards, and there's just like a Captain America hole through a wall, and just going, what the fuck was it supposed to do? Like,
that would have been you could have at least done one of those lighthearted things where they get the thing and they're like, that was a lot easier than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So,
just ask.
But I do like that they didn't do too. They didn't like go over the top of the comedy either. Like, I mean, as much as I love comedy, sometimes these movies are like, we get it, you guys like fucking comedy too, and they're like, calm down. Let's focus. We don't need a fucking gag every 15 minutes.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't have to be the funny guy.
Yeah.
The funny guy, Gary Shandling, is in this.
Yeah, Gary Shandling. His cameo was good. It was. I mean, his face though. No, I mean, like it's kind of sad because if you see the documentary, like they were talking about that time where he didn't know what was wrong with him. And it's kind of sad to see it on film. It's like he had a lot of.
He was getting older.
Yeah, I'm sure that played into it.
There was something wrong with him? Yeah. I thought it was just like botched plastic surgery or something.
No, like remember in the documentary they were saying he was like sick, but he wouldn't tell anybody what was going on. He had all these weird medical problems, and that's when his face started to get really swollen, and there was a lot of weird stuff, mysterious stuff going on. But he was playing it close to the vest,
Right. Ignore him.
Creepy as hell Hydra. Am I right?
Yeah. Also,
I missed that.
Oh, just the creepiest Hail Hydra where.
Oh, he's like he's about to lick his ear.
Yeah.
Let me go into my. Let me do this into my my Yeti here. Hail Hydra.
Yeah, it's very culty.
I like your pen. Which also, Agent What's His Fuck, wearing a Hydra pin. Like I understand that we as the audience don't know who Hydra is really, other than
you don't want to put it out there like that.
In the MCU, that would be like a swastika. They're connected that closely.
People just think you're a fan of Hydra. It's weird. Yeah. But when I had a loot crate, I got a Hydra pin one month. I'm like, that's cool, but also like, who wants to be wearing this? It's so weird because they were famously Nazis. Yeah.
For the record,
I only wear it to certain meetings.
The Hydra emblazoned flask that I got specifically for the joke of saying it's a Hydra flask.
And
Anthony Mackie was in 8 miles.
I will give a caveat to some, not all, but some memorabilia, just because I had a like communist USSR flask that had like the medallion of Stalin on it. And it wasn't because I believed in communism, but it was because I wanted to point out that communism was now something that you would buy as a capitalist.
Yeah.
That it was the final piss on it. So like I could understand if that was like the in-universe joke, but like especially
kind of
Shield. Shield
thing.
has to be like he couldn't accidentally walk into work and have anybody not notice.
Yeah, because everyone thinks. Oh, okay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because they mentioned that. They talk about it. Okay. Yeah, because you couldn't do that if everyone is either historically part of this organization that is anti-Hydra, or everyone's secretly Hydra. They'd be like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
it's a secret." Yeah. What else we got to talk about? Nick Fury's gross eye. We talked about
that. I did feel like when I was watching what's his face is Senator Gary Shandling that was like I saw him and like now I feel bad because I didn't know he was sick, but I see his weird face and I was like, oh, this is what that one senator from New York is going to grow up to be. Or not New York, Florida. What's his name?
Gates.
Yeah. Where I was just like, oh, Matt Gates. This is gonna be him. He's fucking like shitty Hydra. I got my fascism from Kmart. Like,
I think in the documentary he makes fun of his own face, Rory. So don't feel bad. He's like, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, what's going on with me? And it's swollen. And, very, very channeling.
Yeah. Man, we should do a stream on that. I've never seen it.
The last thing that I have in my notes for the main stuff about the movie is did anyone else think that one old white dude on the World Security Council was Terrence Stamp?
Quick look. I think I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Is that Charles Woodmore from Lost? Because it was Charles Woodmore from Lost.
I got a different vibe.
Alan Dale.
Just on that last scene with the World Security Council, the Asian dude, when they gave him the gun, he was holding that shit really competently for a politician. Like, it's the first time I think I've ever seen somebody be like, "You're a civilian. Hold this gun on the bad guy," and he was like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot you if you move." And I believed it. Like, I believed he was ready to kill that dude.
Yeah.
I think that actor's Chinese, and if he makes his way up high in the communist Chinese government, he probably had to spend some time in the military.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Look at that. The lady was just so sexy, big girl.
There was a cute little subtle joke there near the end where ScarJo was like, "Ooh, it's trending." It's like, hey, the end of the world. We're trending on Twitter.
It's not just us.
Every single government secret ever. Of course, it's trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, so the post-credit scene is just Bucky at the museum. That's like the worst one, right? Or the one that's a commercial for Avengers might be worse. But just him walking into the museum and looking around. Is anybody like, man, I was really glad I sat through all the credits to watch that?
Yeah, no. That one, it's like, oh, so he did figure out who he is, kind of. Because, like,
figured it out.
If you don't remember that, you just be like, man, that guy does look like me. I guess Captain America wasn't just senile, but...
It's also always unclear to me, like, how much sentience does the Winter Soldier have when he's walking around? Like, he doesn't know who he is, but what does he know exactly? Like, how much about like robot person is he, or how much does he think for himself?
From what I understood in it, he wasn't like the mental conditioning that they did to him was to make him believe that the people that were following orders were good. So when he was going out doing things, he thought he was doing good stuff, like bad things for the right reasons.
Right. So I guess if we had saw him like getting like prepped and briefed and like, oh, this is your mission and stuff, and these guys are bad guys, and he's conscious and he's aware of that's what his mission is, and he thinks he's on the right side. That's one thing that I kind of get the feeling like sometimes they want you to think he's like a robot man. Like they kind of program the mission into him, and he's just going to go kill them. It's not clear in the movie, I guess.
The scene is very weird, actually, when they're when Robert Redford has to calm him down because they're
slapping him.
They're like, he's out of control and he's like barely doing anything, and then he's just like, I don't know, just do your thing, I guess. I'm just gonna sit back in the chair while you pump me with electricity.
And I did like that they showed that he was getting mind wiped after every mission, so like he wasn't able to like tally up what he'd done totally.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like they could have done more. Like Winter Soldier and Loki, I feel like they really should have done more to show that these characters were redeemable, rather than just being like, oh, people like them, so they'll accept it.
Yeah.
Which also, for anybody that's paying attention to the previous ones, I sent an article to Mike Brown. The MCU behind the scenes guys did confirm that Loki was under control of the Mind Stone. So that's actual canon. So
if you guys want to stay in touch and stay part of the conversation when we're not streaming, join the Discord. Hit exclamation Discord and get the link.
What are these? What are these? Oh, sorry, David. I didn't mean to step in.
Go.
What are these? I've seen them on Disney Plus. They're like, what if Captain America? Like, are they like mini movies or are they like documentaries? Or
they're cartoons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's actually a cartoon series that has like different storylines, if different things that happen, and then at the end of the first season, like they all kind of link up together. So,
cool.
It's like multiverse.
So worth a shot.
It's a fun show. I liked it.
It's a great show, but I think that you get a lot more out of it after you make sure that you've watched all of the movies that have come out prior to that series.
Right. I think if I go to watch it before I watch those last few movies, I'll just let those be canon until proven otherwise. Okay, so mid-credits scene. We haven't talked about that yet. That's where we learn it's the age of miracles, not Marvel. Age of Miracles, not the Age of Mutants. They can't say that. I think that was the big thing, the big discussion point after the movie came out. We meet Silver and Scarlet Witch. So do they get more in the Scarlet? What was it? WandaVision? Do they talk more about what her powers actually are? I've never understood.
A little bit, but not like
in the movies. Right. Okay.
They say, "Oh, you have this thing."
The red. She's the power of red.
Yeah.
And this thing.
I mean, I feel like the MCU does a better job with what her powers are than the comic books did, just because in the comics, she like varies in her power level dramatically. Like sometimes she's just kind of lame, and other times she's like near cosmic powered.
It fluctuates a lot. Like when she first appeared in comics, it was like, oh, I'm going to point my fingers at you and bad things happen.
Yeah.
And later in comics, it's just like, oh, I'm going to say a sentence and alter reality.
Yeah. But like, I guess the crux of her powers in both is that she alters reality. In the comics, it was probability fields. So like she would hit you with a hex, and like everything that could go wrong did. But that it turns out that was like just a low level version of her power. But like in the comics, she's always been incredibly mentally unstable. So like depending on how crazy she is at any given moment, her powers could just go off. Like in the Ultimate Universe, she's the one that created the Savage Land. Like, and the reason why dinosaurs and weird monsters exist there is because that's just what she was scared of, and it just happened. So,
in the regular MCU, I think the two like largest extent shows of her power was House of M, where she changed the entire world to be like, oh, what if Magneto was in charge of stuff
Right.
and mutants were accepted and powerful. And
So is this whole What If series just narrated by her in this her What If?
no, it's
Oh, no.
narrated by the Watcher.
Oh, that makes sense.
And the other big thing in comics that she does is the decimation, where she kills every mutant, or not kills, she depowers every mutant except for 198 of them.
Yeah.
So it's like almost a mini snap.
Right.
And then there's like the weird one where like she uses her hex powers or her reality altering powers to get pregnant with Vision's children, and they grow up, and then she finds out that it's like, oh, those are just fake magic powered children.
Don't forget when the babies turned into the hands of Dr. What was his name? Dr. Demonico or something?
Don't look up Mr. Hands. That's all I know.
It's my favorite Marlon Brando movie, The Hands of Dr. Demonico.
Yeah, but I think within the MCU, though, there's not really a good explanation for what her powers are, right?
I feel like
Master Pandemonium.
Oh, from that was.
I feel like seeing as how she got her powers from the Reality Stone or the Mind Stone, that at least in the MCU, her powers make sense, and the fact that she doesn't really know how to use them, which is why they vary but she's gradually going up as she learns how to use them. I'm really hoping though that the Doctor Strange movie that's coming out is really going to lay into that, because she's apparently learning from Doctor Strange. I don't know.
She's reading the thing from the thing.
The Darkhold.
Yeah. And nothing bad ever happens from that.
Which Marvel movie explains magnets? Because if you're talking about miracles, I need to know about magnets. Is there Age of Ultron? Maybe a little bit of a magnet.
That's basically what
most magnets in it.
That's what all Iron Man movies are doing, is explaining magnets. Like that's all that glowing thing is in his chest. Like
it's a big electromagnet.
Yeah, Pepper's actually a juggalette.
A juggalette. Nice.
It's somewhat hard to read on the screen, but this guy is saying, "My scheme has borne a sweeter fruit than I ever dared dream. Now Master Pandemonium is unbeatable." And his hands are babies, redheaded babies.
Which is going to make masturbation really awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so as we start to wrap up tonight,
I feel like that's the joke that we should end on, and I should be.
Yeah. Just real quick, where did you guys kind of have this ranked previously, and then where do you have it after watching it again? Number one, Chad?
Yep. Previously, I had it as tied for first place. Now it's just this is better than the first Iron Man.
This is your favorite Marvel movie, period, Chad?
Yeah.
Wow.
So far, until we get to whatever's next, Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're only ranking up to. I really don't know. I'm confused.
Oh yeah.
Pulling over on me.
Out of the first whatever 9.
Okay, you're only up to 9. Okay, so
on the re-ranking. Previously, it was tied for my favorite Marvel movie of all time. But the re-ranking, it's number 1 by itself.
Yeah. I feel like this is in my top 3, other than the big. I mean, I feel like Endgame and Infinity War, I have to put them at my number 1 just because there's so much fan service and everything that goes into them. But I don't think that they're necessarily better movies. I think I just like them more. But right now, this is my number 1.
Cool. Yeah, I had it like right in the middle, like 12, like the top of the middle, which is where I kind of feel like I want to put it here too, because there was the thing about it that always kind of rubs me wrong is like when you get to the conspiracy stuff and how Hydra has been behind all of the wars of the whole world, and it like raises a lot more questions for me that like distracts me during the movie. So it kind of loses a couple of points for me on that. But then the action scene and everything is really good. So top of the middle is good for me.
You've said that a couple of times that they're behind the wars, and what I got out of it wasn't that they were behind the wars. It was just that they were actively making them worse. So like building up a side that could have lost sooner, creating or giving people that were twisted, giving them the weapons that they needed to be destructive. But I didn't think they were necessarily behind everything. That they were just giving a little bit of nos talk crazy.
Right. Yeah. I guess that makes sense.
I don't think that it was definitively either of those things. It could have been either. It could have been both.
Yeah. They're definitely influencing the world in very, very significant ways that makes it seem like just by destroying those 3 helicarriers that would probably not get rid of all of the Hydra people that are running everything. Yeah. And that's like a much bigger problem for the world than probably aliens come through.
Well,
it raises a lot of questions that distract me from it.
Destroying the 3 helicarriers isn't meant to eliminate all of Hydra. Destroying the 3 helicarriers is meant to save the few million people that were about to be killed by all the helicarriers.
Right.
Dumping every single secret government document that S.H.I.E.L.D. had his hands on was meant to expose all of Hydra.
Right, yeah. And that kind of comes late that I kind of even forgot that it happened. So yeah, that's just me. It's just the way that I experienced it. He's kind of off from it. I think I need a third watch to really get it the way that it's meant to be, I guess. I don't know, Jose, what do you think? Where do you have it?
So I think it'll still stay in my my top 5-ish. But that's always rotating on depending on which I've seen more recently.
Right.
Right now my number 1 is still No Way Home. For spoilers if you haven't, but just because it's my favorite one because I'm Filipino. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, there you go.
Seen it yet. Just that one part. That was the best part for me. Right. I didn't care about multiple spider people. I just Filipino grandma. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Because that was the most real thing in the entire MCU to me.
It spoke to you. You felt seen.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Because that's my mom. Like if I have friends over and they're making a mess, it's clean it up. I'm going to bed. That's how that happens in real life.
Yeah.
Representation.
Yeah, it matters, guys. It matters. I felt seen in the MCU because of that.
Now, Johnny Sparkles, where you kind of
I don't know.
How did your opinion change?
That's Spider-Man No Way Home when that scene in the credits where Daughtry shows up and they do a remake of I'm Going Home, and it's Spider-Man No Way Home. Just took me out of it. Are we including Howard the Duck in my
he is in the MCU. I don't think the movie.
The movie's not in the MCU. The character is, but not the movie.
Yeah. All right.
So you can like a movie just because it's got Howard the Duck in it. We're not.
Yeah. We're not here to judge. We're just here to discuss
and rank.
We'll rank your
opinion, but
I keep hearing that the second Guardians is really good, but I'm a few years behind on the majority of Marvel movies, but Chris Pratt did kind of lose me there for a minute, but I think this is definitely off the top of my dome, probably top 3, but I have some holes to fill. But I remember, like I said, it was a pivotal movie for me because it actually got me more into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I was more just like I like Robert Downey Jr., so I'll see Iron Man. But this actually convinced me there's more than one way to make a Marvel movie, and it's interesting because I think there's a lot of stuff in it that's totally not like a Marvel movie, but maybe that's good in some cases. But it's not overwrought. It's not overwrought, or But yeah, so I would say definitely easily top 3, but I'll give you my full ranking, David, once I watch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, let me know if you
definitely.
need my Disney Plus login to catch up. So
I finally got one, but I appreciate it.
Oh, okay.
I finally did get somebody. Yeah, but I'll let you know if that one falls through. Thank you.
All right.
So I'm not going to say publicly that I'm using my brother's, but I might be.
If you have an HBO Max, though, I do.
Yeah, I do have one of those. But all right, so before we end the stream for tonight, quick segment. We were watching Captain America: Winter Soldier. The Winter Olympics just happened, so I would like to populate a Winter Olympics team made out of MCU characters. We'll go through a few sports and just say who we would want to be on the team. So number 1 is bobsled. Who would be on our 4-person bobsled team?
Just a quick note. They do have a. Have you heard that they have a mono bobsled now, or it's just one?
They do. It's just but it's only for women. So we can mix gender these. So
is that different from luge?
I know, that's what I was saying. It's almost, I mean, it's a little bit. I guess they're like different. It's basically just a different
shape of the sled.
Yeah, because I think luge you're laying down.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You're basically doing the same. I mean,
so it's like
it's probably the same track.
That's sad.
Yeah.
A single-person bobsled.
You're just going down a hill in a vehicle. It's all the same. Really the same.
Yeah.
Well, with the skeleton, you're doing it head first, though.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm
constantly dying.
I'm torn. For the bobsled, because part of me wants to go Drax, Groot, and Gamora with Rocket driving.
Okay.
Just because they've got the good piloting experience, and that's 3 strong people for the push, right?
Right.
But another part of me wants to go Captain America, Winter Soldier, Black Widow with a Hulk, because I'm thinking you start pushing, right, where you got Hulk or you got Bruce Banner and Black Widow, so it's nice and light, and then as it gets on that downhill, Banner starts hulking out, gets heavier, and starts getting that downward momentum. You can control the weight distribution and stuff like that. And then you have Black Widow to help control the Hulk. So we've been having like a Vision on there or something, because he can kind of phase his matter, right?
Yeah, he can increase his density at will.
Yeah, that would work.
That would be good.
Yeah,
I'm afraid with Hulk,
Vision, Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, and I don't know who the other person is, but you need to have Quicksilver, because the whole point of Cool Runnings was sprinters make good bobsledders.
Yeah, I'm just afraid that like if he's got that super speed, that they'll end up just like shooting through the wall or something. You know?
I just
melting the ice.
It was so dead.
I would put
2 Quicksilvers I would put in there.
Oh, you could, Ralph Boner.
Mm-hmm.
You could put. I would put Thor with Mjolnir up front.
Oh, that's a good call. That's good.
Yeah, I think that's cheating. But go on.
I mean, that's why John Candy. He disqualified. But I mean, what if it's just like part of his like uniform? You know, like he always has it with him. So it's not like how Sanka had his lucky egg. This is his lucky hammer. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then pushing along would I just have all the super soldiers, so I'd have Bucky, Cap, and T'Challa. So
because it was kind of. You also want some more slender men in there. They fit in the thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Got
OG
bunch of beefy dudes.
OG Steve Rogers. OG Steve Rogers would be good in the.
Little tiny Steve Rogers.
What if Hulk was the bobsled? Like you just ride the Hulk down the hill. Can you use him as a bobsled?
I guess so.
I feel like that would work.
Fit in between his traps.
I also want to reserve my right to change my bobsled team as soon as Marvel brings in the X-Men, because Iceman.
Oh yeah.
And then it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. We have to figure out which sport he would be. You'd want to save him for the perfect sport for him. He would kill at all of them. It would be unfair to put him in everything.
worked for Michael Phelps.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so next we have hockey, Olympic hockey. I don't know how many people are on a hockey team. We probably don't have to fill up the whole team, but who would be good at hockey? Well, you're Minnesota man, Roy. You know how many people are on a hockey team.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go Spider-Man as goalie.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. He's got the reflexes. He's got the
yeah.
web shooters. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that whatchamacallit? What's his name? Drax is my enforcer if we're going with that one.
Right.
Just because he's got the right amount of stupid to still can fit on skates. Let's see. You're going to want a couple of fast people, but they can't be too fast because they got to stay on the skate. So like Quicksilver, he would melt the ice, right?
Yeah.
Let's see.
If anything, his speed probably would work against them. Yeah. It would get too slippery and he just fall on his face.
This is Doctor Strange, because that's the one thing you want is a hat trick, and you need your magician for that. Just saying, like, being able to shoot the puck at your own goal and then portal it to the next goal, that's got to be the best move.
Yeah. But he has to do all the hand stuff, and he's got those big old hockey gloves on.
That's true.
Yeah, but in the first in Doctor Strange's film, like she made a point to show him that he didn't need his full hands because that amputee dude was able to do spells.
It's all inside. You got to use the inner hands of the soul.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and say Batroc the Leaper.
Are you allowed to jump in hockey?
They can't stop you.
Or jump kick people. You definitely can't jump kick people in hockey.
Yeah. But I want somebody that can take a hit.
Right.
And yeah, that's my team.
Yeah. Did you say Wolverine? Because Wolverine, I mean, he's Canadian. He's got to be on the team. Right?
Yeah, but he's not in the MCU yet, so I'm not.
That's
not.
He's the only Canadian superhero I can think of.
I mean, I think Vision would be cool just because if you go to check him and he just phases through you, that's dope.
Right, you'll look dumb just going straight through him. Yeah. Flipping over the boards. Guys got any other hockey thoughts?
I think you could change Winter Soldier's arm into a stick, like a metal stick.
Oh, yeah.
I would think that Captain America and Thor are pretty accurate with like throwing things, so maybe they would be accurate with the stick. But sorry, I have to tell a quick thing to Rory because you mentioned Minnesota, and I think of Rory at least a couple times a month whenever because I remember we were doing a scene one time, and like I think we had to do like Fargo accents or something, and like I think Rory like hates the movie Fargo. So like Rory was really doing like over the top, like "Oh, don't you know?" and it was just
that's not even over the top.
I think of
fucking accurate.
I think of Rory saying like, "Well, don't you know?" Like, I mean, I don't know why, but it's one of those things that regularly pops in my head.
Yeah.
It seemed like Rory was like in a mood that day, so it was perfect. It was just like, yes, he's channeling his energy.
Yeah. You guys want to see it? Fine, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. All the don't you knows you want.
Yeah, I'm from North Dakota and Minnesota.
Next sport.
I had hockey thoughts.
Oh yeah, hockey thoughts.
MCU's Defenders. Throw Daredevil as a goalie for the same reasons why Spider-Man works, except he has 360 vision, or not vision, but radar.
Right.
You have a super strong chick with an attitude problem to enforce stuff. It's going to be hard to try and knock over Luke Cage. You got a martial arts guy. And if you are including bad guys in there too, we can throw in Bullseye, who's super accurate.
Yeah, he's exactly who you'd want to slapping those shots.
If we're going to do that, though, I kind of want Kingpin, because then he's just going to fix the game ahead of time.
That's even better.
You want him to be DMing or
Like you have him sit as your goalie and then dare the other team to shoot.
And plus, I think he's just big enough where he just covers the whole goal anyway. So it's not like.
I feel like we're doing that sketch on SNL where like Gretzky's in the locker room and all these celebrities are telling him how to be better at hockey, and they're like, "Let's put like a super big guy in the goal, like put the Hulk in there, and nobody will be able to score because they can't get in the freaking goal. Shoot laser beams at him, you know?
It's genius."
Yeah. Okay, so who are we sending on the biathlon where you have to cross country ski and then do target shooting, right?
This is Winter Soldier. Easy.
Oh yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah,
he just does it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a winter sport and a thing that soldiers do. So winter soldier.
Yeah.
And I think it was originally just like a soldiering thing, like the Swiss Army.
Or Hawkeye would be a second for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd be good for that.
You know who'd be really good at that? He's not in the Marvel Universe, but Oscar Pistorius, the guy that
Blade Runner?
The Blade Runner?
Yeah, the Blade Runner. He'd be really good at
shot.
that.
Yeah, world famous runner and shot. Okay, so two more. Go ahead, Rory.
Oh no, I'm ready to move on.
Okay. Figure skating. Who would we send for that? One man and one woman. Who would we send?
Punisher. Because it's all about emotion, right?
Right, it's true. And he's seething with emotion. Just
Yeah.
the one emotion, but he's got a lot of it.
Like, I'd pay to see that. And for my women, I'm going to send Pepper Potts.
Oh yeah, he definitely has that figure skater. Figure.
Yeah.
She's built like a figure skater.
And I just want to see how much taller she is than Tony Stark in skates.
I would do
He's gonna pick her up over his head, and she'll be shorter. Oh yeah, that's good.
Star-Lord,
he's a good dancer,
and then Star-Lord and Black Widow, because she's classically trained dancer, right?
That's true. Yeah,
and Russian, so that's a winter. Thing. And then just dance battle, bro. Because I just recently saw a clip of like one of the, I think it was from this year's Winter Olympics. There was I think it was the duo from Spain. They just did a thing to like super 80s. I can't remember the song, but it was hilarious. They were like wearing hypercolors and stuff. So I think that if they did like a comedic like routine, I think that's what they would do for that.
Yeah.
He still gets to keep the rocket boots, right? Because
I think so.
You can do
just
so
put
many
blades
spins.
on the bottom. Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing is how many times can you flip around before you hit the ice again. So he wins.
Yeah. It's a good spinner. Because the Tasmanian Devil's not in the MCU yet.
Not yet.
They haven't done the crossover with Space Jam.
I would use the two Hawkeyes.
Girl Hawkeye and Boy Hawkeye.
Yeah, just because they already have the matching leotards.
Yeah. Nice.
I just feel like it's too sexual a sport.
I mean, yeah, it's a very sensual looking thing when they do it, right? But it's I feel like most male figure skaters are not dating their female partners in those things for reasons.
I don't know.
I think they got to keep that tension. What's that movie?
They're professionals.
Ice Castles.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the one where it's like a hockey guy that can't play hockey anymore. So
no, that's Ice Castle's a different movie.
Cutting
the one. Oh shit! I gotta look this up. I think it is Cutting Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
DB Sweeney.
That's the one. Yeah.
You're right. It is Cutting Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would obviously go with the Hulk because, much like that bit in my stand-up act, it's like everybody expects him to play football, and he wants to express himself in different ways, and I want to see him overcome the stigma.
Triple axel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find that.
Hulk Soko.
But you want to see him screw up and then get really angry and smash everything. Last sport is curling. Mixed doubles. So a man and a woman once again.
Damn! I shouldn't have used the two Hawkeyes already.
No, they'd be perfect for this. They're very accurate people.
Damn it! I if it has to be a man and a woman, so be it. Because I was gonna say Thor and Agent Coulson for this one, because if there's one person or one guy that's good at chucking a rock around, it's got to be Thor. And there's another person that's good at sweeping up other people's messes. It's Agent Coulson.
Isn't the rock in curling called the hammer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. It's perfect for this.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we have to, it's going to be Thor and his girlfriend Natalie Portman. But it has to be mixed doubles.
Yeah, they do have great chemistry. You just want to watch them kiss. You want to see them be happy and win and kiss. That's all you want to see.
Or Thor and Valkyrie.
Yeah. I think they'd be a very professional team. They take it very seriously and do very well.
She's too drunk. The IOC would never let her play the adventure.
Why is that?
We really missed out. We should have put Ant-Man in the bobsled, I think. I just thought of that.
Oh, yeah, he really would have been good in that one. Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah, I was thinking Scarlet Witch because, she's a witch, and witches are great with brooms.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Takes over. They work well together. And Vision, maybe. They work well together.
I'm also going to throw as a possible secondary team is Black Panther and his sister.
Oh.
Because the vibranium stone that they're chucking wouldn't be able to be bounced out of the way.
Yeah, it would just absorb the impact.
Yeah.
But then that kind of limits their strategy too. But then I'm sure they would figure out the best strategy. Yeah.
Well, it would just be they'd throw the one in and it would bounce all the others away.
Mm.
And then it couldn't be moved. So.
Right. Cool. All right, so that is our Winter Olympics, Winter Soldier, Winter everything team. Hope that was fun with everybody. I had fun. So yeah, we're gonna say good night, everybody. Before we do, any Sparkles, Xavier, thank you so much for joining us. You guys have anything you would like to plug before we get out of here? Are you watching now or in the future?
We did film some new stuff for Waikiki PD, so that should be coming out soon.
Nice.
Are you guys on Amazon?
No, this is just for like our web stuff.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But the first movie's out on Amazon.
The first movie's out on Amazon. The second one we're still editing. So.
Cool.
But yeah, we just did a bunch of web stuff. So we one segment that we did, we're making fun of that Detroit urban survival guy. So.
Nice.
I throw a mustache on my mustache, so that's fun.
That's always
nice.
Fun. It's a real Hercule Poirot.
Yeah.
Double mustache.
Other than that, that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Hey, Johnny Sparkles, what do you got going on? Where should people find you, see you do?
Hold on, I have my they're on the balloons. I'm gonna pull these balloons out that have all my credits on them.
There's your fucking herpes all over the room.
Well, inside baseball there. But
you didn't tell me he was playing baseball. That's entirely changes the.
Yeah, David, he was playing baseball, right?
Putting a lot of layers on this thing.
I'm just saying, like, if you go to a baseball game, you know what to expect.
It's true. They're little bats, David. They were just little bats.
That makes it okay.
They had bacteria on there, but just check out my social media stuff. I enjoy creating things, and I enjoy them more when people engage with them, because when they don't, it makes me feel like I'm wasting my time. So, Wu-Tang Comedy on Instagram, Wu-Tang Talk on TikTok. I know I'm 46, but I'm trying to make money like Tamua Tuine. So TikTok.
Yeah. Cool. All right. everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us and watching us and following along on our journey back through all the MCU movies.
What's the next movie?
The next movie, I believe, is Guardians of the Galaxy with Joe Louis, I think.
All right.
Right? Somebody pull that up.
It's definitely Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know who you have on the calendar.
With Joe, yeah. I just talked to him today.
I don't need to know who else is going to watch it. I just need to know what I'm supposed to watch.
Yeah. Follow us next week.
I usually wait until David posts that he's watching it on Saturday morning, and then I'm like, oh crap.
That's right. I got to do this. Yeah, so watch it whenever you want, guys, or you can watch it with me. I guess maybe I'll do a stream of you can just watch my face while I watch it. But anyways, next week, Guardians of the Galaxy. You have James Gunn in the MCU, and get Lloyd Kaufman cameo, which is always great. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna ride out on Captain America, the kiss from Captain America, Winter Soldier. Not a very passionate kiss, but a good one nonetheless. And we'll see you guys next week.
Standard tag team, 2 behind, 2 across. 2 coming straight at us. If they make us, I'll engage. You hit the south escalator of the metro.
Shut up and put your arm around me. Laugh at something I said.
What?
Do it.
Oh.
Oh no.
Negative at the source.
Give me a floor rundown. Negative on 3.
This video could have started halfway
Make the upper
through.
levels. Work down to me.
That's right. That part was cute too.
Yeah. That's not what we're here for. We're for the kiss.
It is the
I'm here for
best
all
way
of it.
to pick me
Trust
up,
me.
though.
Public displays of affection make people very uncomfortable.
Yes, they do.
There he goes.